Sam was fearless. She was invincible. There was nobody tougher than Sam.
How can my daughter be dead?
This was a horrible mistake that no one can ever know about.
Sasha!
Port Charles, where the population seems to double by the month because apparently the town is out of birth control. Who could have guessed? Willow and Sasha? Yeah, of course they're both going to be pregnant with Michael's babies, because why not? Then there's the mess with Kelly Monaco. Firing her? Bold move, writers, really. Losing interest was a given, especially after Ingo Rademacher walked away and Steve Burton got the boot for refusing the ridiculous vaccine mandate. And with that, they're basically signing off on their viewership. I mean, Kelly was Sam McCall for 21 years. Not exactly a minor role to cast off. And while we're on the topic of predictable disasters, how about those endless relationship shakeups? It's like they're on a 6-month timer before someone cheats, lies, or has a sudden change of heart. Just genius, right? Why invest in long-term character development when you can toss couples around like dice? Let's not forget Sidwell, who totally caused that explosion. And now he's marching off to Carly's, as if Brennan's not about to find out and blow the whole thing up even more. Drama's about to escalate, predictably, of course. Oh, but maybe that's exactly the type of overcooked tension they're aiming for. After all, it worked out so well when they broke up Sam and Jason, made Sonny a chump, and left viewers questioning why they still bothered to tune in. Port Charles, the place where fireworks happen every week, until you finally get tired of the same old spark. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, Messy Syrup. It's me, Abby, here. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Keep watching, so let's dive into today's video. Wow, Alexis must be putting on a performance for the ages. Either that, or she's channeling something very real. Losing her daughter on screen? She's nailing it in a way that hits close to home for anyone who's experienced that pain. Watching her brings it all back. It's raw, it's heartbreaking, and honestly, it's a level of acting you don't often see on daytime TV. As for Kelly, yeah, her absence isn't exactly a tragedy. Let's face it, Sam's character has been in serious need of a revival. She went from being this unstoppable force to, well, a kind of distant, whiny mom who never wanted her kids around their fathers, but wasn't really there for them herself. The writers could have done so much with her, but seemed completely lost. Honestly, recasting her might have brought Sam some fresh direction instead of keeping her around just for old time's sake. Now, about Willow and Drew, she keeps calling their moments mistakes, but let's be real, it's less about mistakes and more about her avoiding how she really feels. Drew's just not helping the situation either, showing up every time she tries to push him away. And somehow, I can see Michael catching them on a live cam in some compromising position, but will he really be in a place to judge? I mean, after his own little fling with Sasha, and don't be surprised if that leads to yet another pregnancy. Drama on repeat, Port Charles style. It's a rough time on GH, no question about it. Sam's passing should be leaving the whole town in tears, yet for some reason, the only one shedding any is Alexis. You'd think the people mourning her would be a bit more visibly heartbroken, but Alexis, she's carrying all that emotion on her own, and it's hitting home. And then there's Rocco, feeling like it's all somehow his fault. Someone needs to set him straight. This was not on him, or Dante, or anyone else. Sam made a choice to save Lulu, knowing the risk, and that's a kind of courage few have. She gave her life to help another, which makes her a hero. Rocco, Danny, Scout, they may not see her anymore, but she's there with them, watching over them, loving them. She's their guardian angel now. Hopefully, they hold on to the good memories and remember how much she loved them. And if anyone ever needed a wake-up call, it's Molly and Christina. Now's the time for them to lean on each other instead of fighting. Their big sister loved them, and this loss should bring them closer, not tear them apart. Meanwhile, just as the dust settles from Sam's death, Holly is apparently stirring things up again. She wants Robert's forgiveness, yet Sidwell's on his way to take her down, and he's not exactly interested in forgiveness. Robert, Sasha, and Cody are all in the line of fire, and Sidwell? He's focused on getting back what's his. Drama's about to hit the fan. One thing's for sure, Rocco, Danny, and Scout need each other now more than ever. They may have different fathers, but splitting them up right now would only make this loss harder. For today, though, Nancy Lee Grahn and Bradford Anderson are putting in knockout performances. They're bringing this story to life, and honestly, it's what keeps us watching. Oh, Molly, let's get something straight. Telling your mother it's okay to move on. Not even close. A mother never truly gets over the loss of her child. It's a wound that doesn't heal. And can we talk about Molly and Christina for a second? Their reaction to losing Sam felt completely flat. They should be in shock, and instead, it's like they just forgot their lines. It's frustrating to watch. But Danny, now there's a bright spot. For his age, he's showing so much maturity and could be an incredible big brother to Scout. He's channeling that Jason energy, keeping it all together, even when everything is falling apart. Sure, this is soap opera land, where the drama is turned up to 11, but it mirrors real life, too. Tragedies like this happen, and it resonates with so many viewers. And can we give it up for Nancy Lee Grahn? Whether you love her character or not, her performance today was award-worthy. You could really feel her pain. It was raw and real. I found myself crying right along with her. As a huge Susan Lucci fan, I'd say Nancy's performance ranks right up there with the best of them. Now, on to the chaos brewing with Sidwell. He's back in town, and it looks like he's not just here for a friendly chat. He wants revenge and those diamonds of his, sending his goons after Sasha and Carly. I'm betting Friday's cliffhanger will have the building going up in flames with them trapped inside. What a way to keep us on the edge of our seats. But honestly, the scenes with Sam and Alexis have hit so hard. I can relate all too well. My husband passed away 5 years ago after what was supposed to be a routine surgery for a broken ankle. He was joking around and being his normal self until everything went downhill. The sudden shift was terrifying. I was pulled out of the room while chaos erupted around me, machines beeping and people scrambling. He passed from a pulmonary embolism, and we were left in shock, just like Alexis. I was asking why and spiraling, feeling like my world had ended. It's heart-wrenching to see that reflected in the show, and it reminds me how these stories can echo our own experiences. It's great to see GH letting Jason shine. He's been killing it in the latest episodes, showing some real depth, and it's clear he's invested in this storyline. Friday's episode set up some serious parallels, and honestly, I can't help but wonder if things will turn out the same way they did in the past. We're seeing echoes of the Bobby and Felicia storyline here, only this time with Alexis and Laura. The moment Laura stepped off the elevator and instinctively asked if something was wrong with Lulu, only to find out it was Sam, was heartbreaking. When Laura tried to comfort Alexis, saying how good Sam was, it was clear Alexis couldn't fully accept it. Sam's death saved Lulu, but it's a painful, impossible truth to accept. Back in the day, Bobby and Felicia leaned on each other. BJ's heart donation saved Maxie, and it was an act of salvation, not loss. But Alexis may not be able to see it that way. Her healthy daughter lost her life to save someone else's, and that's a wound that may leave a deep rift, even if Alexis and Laura weren't the closest of friends. With their families now intertwined through Nicholas and Ace, it's going to be complicated and messy. Meanwhile, Michael, Drew, and Willow are likely about to step right into a soap opera classic. The baby monitor scene? Just setting up a mess. It's all too easy to see Drew, shaken by Sam's death, seeking comfort in Willow, only for Michael to catch it all on the monitor. And of course, we know where this is going. A who's the daddy storyline for Willow if she ends up pregnant. Predictable, but still, here we go. One thing's for sure, Alexis is going to need all the support she can get. Keeping Danny and Scout close will help her find strength, and Dante and Jason will surely step in to support her. This tragedy may end up bringing them all closer, even if it's in the midst of all this drama and heartache. So Michael's doing double duty with Sasha and Willow in the same day, without even a shower break, just when you think GH couldn't add more layers of soap drama. The new promo hints at the fallout too, with the talk of Sam's tragic death, followed by the ominous explosion in the background. It's like the writers are working overtime to keep us on edge. Now that Sam's gone, her kids need to be the focus. Danny and Scout are caught in the middle with two different fathers and Alexis as their anchor. Splitting them up is definitely not the answer. The adults here, Alexis, Jason, Dante, and everyone else in their orbit, need to pull together to give these kids a united family front. Hopefully, the writers recognize that the right thing to do is to keep these kids connected and create some heartfelt, genuine moments that remind viewers that, above all the drama, these kids need stability after losing their mother. And speaking of possible changes, there's been talk that Nancy Lee Grahn might retire because of Kelly Monaco's departure. Is this real news or just rumor mill chatter? It's definitely confusing, especially given how crucial Alexis is to the storyline right now. I guess only time will tell if it's true or just more speculation. Continuity seems to be a bit of a mess lately too. No mention of Maxie's Halloween birthday. And Anna's past with the explosion was glossed over in her conversation with Holly, as if she hadn't been directly involved. It's like some major moments in the show's history have slipped through the cracks. Then we've got the ongoing saga of Michael and Willow. Once hailed as the next Edward and Leela, people are now coming down hard on them. But if you think about it, Edward and Leela's relationship had its fair share of mistakes and cover-ups too, yet they found a way to forgive and rebuild. The real test of Michael and Willow's relationship will be how they handle the fallout when the truth surfaces. If they can weather this, maybe they'll live up to that legacy after all. Jason and Alexis, Nancy and Steve, absolutely delivered in these scenes. You can tell there was a personal weight to it for them, especially since both actors were close to Kelly in real life. With Billy Miller's passing, there's even more emotion layered in, and it feels like their goodbyes were real, beyond the script. Jason's moment here was big, especially with Dante absent. It highlighted just how deeply connected he still is to Alexis and Sam's family, even if he's technically no longer part of it. When he hugged Alexis, you could see the heartbreak on both sides. He wanted to support her, but the lines between family and former ties made it complicated. Yet he was there when she needed someone, and his pain was just as real as hers. And now, Jason's going to be the one to tell Sam's kids while Drew's off on his own questionable mission. Steve Burton really brought it all in this arc, from Lulu's storyline to now, showing a depth and vulnerability that's often hidden behind Jason's stoic exterior. Even though that awkward kiss with Anna was, well, awkward, he's been on fire lately, and it's clear he's carrying a lot of emotional weight. Nancy Lee Grahn always nails her scenes, but it's been a pleasant surprise to see the writers give Jason this level of emotional range. Watching him show that side is refreshing, and with Sam's passing, it'll be interesting to see how much more of Jason's struggle they let us witness. This feels like the beginning of a turning point for him. I totally get it. It's like these characters are old friends we grew up with, and seeing them go, especially someone like Sam, who's been a part of GA for so long, hits hard. Soap operas weave into our lives in ways we don't even realize. So when a long-standing character leaves, it can feel surprisingly emotional. Kelly Monaco's departure, especially after the ups and downs she's had in recent years, feels like the end of an era. That Jason montage was a gut punch. No matter how removed we might feel, those memories come flooding back. And yes, Sam's cause of death seemed off. A heart attack doesn't quite fit the picture for a character like Sam. A pulmonary embolism, PE, would have made more sense and would have fit in with her being active and strong. An unseen risk rather than something tied to her general health. It would have felt more realistic and maybe given the story a bit more impact. It's funny, soaps might seem like just TV, but they've been a part of so many of our lives, through generations. Sam's exit was a big one, and it's a reminder of how these stories can resonate so deeply. Here's hoping Kelly lands somewhere she can shine. Kate Mansi and Kristen Vaganos really have brought new life to GH, haven't they? Finding the right Molly took time, but Kristen has just clicked with everyone. Her scenes with Alexis and Christina feel so natural. She's able to go from clashing with Christina to having those genuine heart-to-hearts with Alexis effortlessly. It's like she's been in that role forever. And her chemistry with TJ. She's managed to make their relationship interesting and layered in a way that feels truly believable for a couple with history. They're convincing as a long-term couple, something you don't always get in soaps. Kate Mansi as Christina has been a similar revelation. Christina might have her flaws, but Mansi captures them with so much nuance that you're still drawn to her, and you can absolutely see her as the headstrong, impulsive daughter of Sunny and Alexis. Mansi plays Christina as bold, emotional, and a little chaotic, but in a way that totally fits the character's DNA. She's the perfect blend of Sunny's impulsiveness and Alexis's vulnerability, and it makes for such a compelling take on Christina. Friday's scenes with Alexis telling her daughters about Sam's death were heartbreaking but beautifully done. This family unit, Alexis, Molly, and Christina, felt real and raw. It was like watching a genuine family trying to navigate through an impossible moment. All three actresses brought out the best in each other, showing just how complex and loving their relationships are. As for that baby storyline, it would be just like GH to bring in some wild twist, like Molly having an affair with Dex and getting pregnant. And honestly, we're probably looking at a Sasha and Michael baby plotline too. These storylines may be predictable, but let's hope the writers keep up with the strong character work that's been carrying this family lately. Michael's current situation is a real mess, isn't it? It's hard to ignore that Willow is lying by omission, especially after he was furious when Sasha spilled the beans about Willow and Drew's kisses. He gave Willow the chance to come clean, but she dodged it completely. So now he's pretending everything is fine and they're moving past it. Honestly, I want to see Michael unleash his anger, and not just at Drew. When the truth finally comes out, I hope he holds nothing back, not even with Ned, who, let's be real, is also part of this tangled web. Sure, I like Ned, but Michael has a vindictive streak, and it's about time we see that side of him again. He's sitting on a powder keg of emotions, and it would be interesting to watch him channel that rage when he discovers everyone's been keeping secrets from him. He's definitely lulling Willow into a false sense of security right now. It's classic Michael, calm on the surface, but you know he's plotting his revenge for when she least expects it. With all the layers of deception, it's only a matter of time before he uses this information against her. Their relationship is bound to take a nosedive, and it'll be fascinating to see how it all unfolds when the truth hits. It's like watching a ticking time bomb, and I can't wait for the explosion. Drop your thoughts in the comment section below. Do you agree or disagree? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more updates. Your opinions matter, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you.